Hey everybody, we're all ready for the Matt Duchene episode of Scuttlepuck, and we're here live at Rhino Sport and Play to do the playoff preview edition, and we'll get right on it right after Grinder sings Out of Our Heads. Hello, and here we are for the big playoff preview of Scuttlepuck from none other than Rhino Sport and Play. How's it going, fellas?
It's kind of interesting because I'm actually looking at you while you ask that question, and I can see Pete at the other end of the table. So this is unique, and I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's the first time I get to meet Dale, and
That's
we've already got a game going on and a couple of games. Well, at least
games.
they're both going now.
Yeah, buddy.
Well, I guess the Winnipeg-Minnesota game just dropped the puck, and of course Pittsburgh's already up 1-0.
Yeah, I'm a couple of beers deep, and we're all good to go. We got through some technical issues, but yeah, so there'll be a bit of background noise here, but that's I think that's all well and good. So what we're going to do on this day one of the playoffs, we're going to go through each series, talk a little bit about that, and I'm sorry, guys, but I do have to get a little bit Edmonton Oilers talk in because Peter Chiarelli had his big talk today and made me angry. So
okay, good. We've got enough of that in.
The Habs had their talk too.
Oh, yes, that's right. Bergevin came out and said that it's funny how GMs just say their players aren't trying hard enough.
Yeah, their players
trying
hard enough.
Maybe if those idiots tried a little bit harder, the players wouldn't be in such trouble.
It's all attitude, man. It's all attitude. Bad attitude.
It's unbelievable. I think makes me mad when I hear shit like that. Throw your players under the bus so you can keep your job. I don't know how Bergevin has his job. I don't know how Chiarelli still has his job. But
well, at least Jeff Molson came out and said that it wasn't only attitude; it was they weren't good enough.
Yeah, well, that's a shot across the bow of your general manager, if there ever was one. I would say.
Lou Lamoriello's doing a good job.
He's a strong, silent type.
Hey, are they allowed to grow beards in the playoffs?
I don't think they are.
I don't know.
Well, fine. I don't think half of them could anyway.
Marner.
Like
Marner.
You telling me Nylander and Marner are going to grow beards?
Yeah. Do you think that's a in today's day and age that it's a good thing to have that kind of a rule, or does it really matter?
I think it's anything to do to build camaraderie. Do it. I don't really care. Let's go.
What, the rule, you mean? The rule against it? Yeah, I don't think it doesn't matter, though. It's Lou, and so what Lou says
this is
goes,
great.
And that's just the way
Playoff edition, and we're talking about the Leafs. This is
It'd
awesome.
be really interesting to see Brett Burns or Jumbo Joe play in Toronto.
All right.
What? How the hell did we get there?
You can see all those
sorry.
beards.
Okay, I thought you said, sorry. See a lot of background noise. I thought you said, are they going to play in Toronto? I'm going, what? Are we talking postseason stuff? Trades going on?
Okay.
I missed you.
Not
Okay,
yet.
yeah. No, they would. No, I guarantee you, though. They got traded to Toronto. Lou would have them shave it in a heartbeat.
Okay, let's go.
Oh, Dale wants to keep moving along here. Come on, chill out. There's still wings on it. Pete hasn't eaten all his wings yet.
Yeah.
Come on, Pete, you're slow. Before we jump into the previews, though, and we've got 8 series to do, obviously, any thoughts on the playoff format? Because I was going through it. I was looking at, if we had league-wide, first versus place, playing 16 on down, or conference-wise, first versus 8 in each conference, how would it be different?
Okay.
What are your thoughts on that?
It doesn't matter
guys?
what you do. People will be upset. Okay, next question.
That is true. But there's still surely there's a better way to do it. Or no, maybe I'm not saying better than now. I'm saying there's a best way, isn't there, Peter?
I'm a little lost here, guys, because my computer just says that it's going to update Windows. So
you can delay that, can't you?
That's what I'm trying to do right
you're
now.
professional
so
talker.
If I seem a little distracted.
He's good at talking. He's not strong on the technical side, apparently.
So,
do you know any IT professionals?
I don't.
Dale. No. Okay. All right. We can't contract that out to anybody you might know.
You guys can afford. There it is, 2-0. Pittsburgh.
Whoa! Who just scored that?
Hagen.
I guess not to give away my predictions here at all, but I'm not looking good in that
I
series.
am looking
so,
excellent.
But anyway, Dale, I was looking at the so if we had just first versus 16th, second versus 15th, right on down the line, if we went that way, here are the matchups we have right now. So right now you'd have Nashville versus Colorado would be first versus 17th. So in that world, Colorado wouldn't have even made the playoffs. You'd have Winnipeg versus Minnesota would be second versus 9th. The second place team in the league is playing the 9th place instead of the 15th, so they got screwed there. Tampa Bay and New Jersey, you'd have third versus 15th, which isn't too far off. Boston versus Toronto.
Yeah, that would never happen.
Fourth versus 7th. Where's the reward for doing well in the regular season there?
Mm-hmm.
Now, does that bother you at all, or do you even care? I get by your tone, you couldn't
If it
care
was
less.
so significant, then they should have. They knew this was the rules going in. It's the way it is.
Yeah, of course they knew the rules going. Doesn't mean they're good rules. They're the
rules. I'm okay.
You don't care?
I do. It does add way more interest in picking the first round, because it used to be picking the first round was pretty easy. Now every first round is difficult to pick.
It is tough. I'll give you that.
It's not difficult to pick when you have a beer in your hand.
Nah.
It's easy to pick, but pick correctly.
Everything I do is difficult when I have a beer in my hand. Or easy.
So who scored the second Pittsburgh goal?
Hagelin.
Sorry. Who?
Hagelin.
Carl Hagelin. The speedster.
Okay.
All
right. So
right.
you're thinking that what would be your proposal, Mike? You go back to the old way? Divisions?
I'm more inclined. I don't care about divisional championship. Nobody cares, and I think it's stupid when teams put up a banner for a divisional championship. I think I could give you the conference title. I'll buy that, but a divisional title, who cares? So I think the best is first versus 8th in the conference. That's kind of my inclination, but I also get that every year there's going to be some injustice done.
I'd have to concur with that. It should be 1 versus 8 and not the way they're doing it.
And you want to eliminate the term wild card.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that. I don't like that term.
That said, it's not going anywhere. The teams, I think the GMs love it. They get great rivalries. TV-wise, it's probably better. First round is big, and all the big fans are going to stick around till the end anyway, so I think they...
Well, was it last year that, was it Crosby who complained about it last year, and it was Kadri who complained about it this year?
Kadri did? Yeah, well, Kadri, nobody listens to him because he's a jerk.
He's in the playoffs.
He is in the playoffs. He's still a jerk. All right.
Let's go have some jerk.
That's
go
my
have
humble opinion. Pete's going to go grab a chicken wing. Okay, shall we go into the first? Now, do you have a particular order you want to do? Because I have, I know my notes are all in kind of random order, but why don't we're watching Winnipeg and Minnesota up on the big screen here at Rhino Sport and Play, up at the Bar Down Lounge.
Yeah, Bar Down Lounge is where it is.
Is that what it is?
And
I'm drinking a Bar Down Amber Ale.
Good chicken wing.
Which is delicious. And if you'll check on this beer can, actually, it's pretty cool. For all the listeners, you can see this clearly. There's a bunch of chirps in small print.
Oh.
Randy's daughter, Chloe, did all those.
Mine doesn't have that.
Zoe. Sorry,
yeah.
Chloe. So.
Mine.
Which is awesome.
This is a Rhino Pilsner. It just has a big jersey with a P on the front.
But they are delicious. So anyway, as a listener, you don't care. Winnipeg versus Minnesota. We got.
Okay.
What do you got? Who you got?
This is probably the easiest one. Winnipeg. It's obviously Winnipeg. Next question.
You realize the concept of the podcast is to talk.
I know,
about
but I'm watching.
So
Okay,
Beller's
Pete.
going to really like you.
Oh yeah, Beller. I can see you in the stands, Beller.
Beller, yeah. What's up, Pete? What do you got?
Oh, yeah, well, it's Winnipeg as well, but it's not going to be as much of a cakewalk as one might think. It'll go 6 games.
6 games? That's what I had, too. How many games,
4.
Dale? Whoa, Jets in 4.
Bella really likes you.
No, that's not happening. The only thing I worry about for the Jets, and I think they look great, and I've got them going a long ways, actually, but I got Trouba's is he back? We haven't seen, I don't think, tonight if he's back.
Right.
But he's got the injury. That's a big deal. You got Kulikov out, and you got Enstrom out.
On the Winnipeg side.
For Enstrom's like day-to-day, so I'm not sure if he's playing tonight. But there's some big ones. At the same
on the
time,
injury side, Minnesota's missing Suter, and that trumps anything that happens in Winnipeg.
Yeah, I think so. So I'm with you. I mean, really, every goals per game, goals against per game. You can open your beer now, Dale. Power play, every category there is, the Jets are a stronger team, so they should win, which probably means then that Minnesota will
and what
win,
should happen to what would happen
if
Dubnyk got pulled? Do you know who their backup goalie is?
Is it still Darcy Kemper?
No, it's not Kemper. I don't know. Who is?
Alex Stalock.
That's right.
So, you better hope nothing happens to you, old Dub.
Didn't know Gord Stellick played goal.
He doesn't. It's Alex Stalock.
Oh, sorry.
Stalock.
Okay, next one. Let's go.
All right, so let's go to Pittsburgh, Philly, because they're the other one on the TV in front of us. And
last thing on Winnipeg. On TSN, they had the fantasy pool where they had O'Dog, Biron, Poulin, and Jones, and they picked.
Yep.
They all picked Winnipeg. They picked Winnipeg Jets 5 out of the first 6 picks from Winnipeg. They are all in on Winnipeg going deep.
Well, that's an offensive team, so they're all about the points.
Anyway.
But I mean, I always felt in a playoff draft, anytime I did them, and I've won a couple, I think. But the key, I always pick the 2 teams that think you're going to the final and just pick their players, because otherwise you get too spread out and you lose half your team. Anyway, Philadelphia, Pittsburgh. What do you guys got?
I got Philly.
You got Philly.
Claude Giroux is peaking at the right time, and they are going to go far. And Pittsburgh is just going to run out of gas.
No.
Yep.
Battle of Pennsylvania goes to Pittsburgh. Yeah, I'll give it 6 games of it. I think it'll really go 5.
Whoa!
I just don't think that Philly's got the goaltending or the defense to look after it. And Pittsburgh's so freaking deep down the middle.
Well, but I get that. And goaltending was a big thing for me too. But I have to think. My thought is that Pittsburgh's goaltending is a big question mark. Matt Murray's just come back. He's been injured. He hasn't had a good year when he's been playing. So I think that's a huge question mark for Pittsburgh. And Philly it always is. But I went out on a limb here. I picked Philly in 7. Did you pick the game?
I picked Philly in 4.
Right there.
You're not afraid.
This is rich.
I love it.
And guess what?
Yeah.
So far, I'm accurate.
Pittsburgh has a huge special teams, though, right? Like they've got their power play is 26%. I think that's going to be a big thing if the refs are actually calling penalties in the playoffs, which they normally don't do, but if they decided to, I think Philly would be in a world of hurt. But stats-wise, Pittsburgh should win, but I just something in my gut says, like you did.
You're the stats guy, man.
Pittsburgh, I know. Yeah, who are we kidding? It's a 50-50 league. Everything here's a coin flip anyway, so you might as well go with your gut.
But whose jersey do you like more?
Well, you know what? That's a good question.
It has no bearing on it.
They've both gone totally retro, and I think they're good. But I think Pittsburgh's probably got the better unis, all in all. And I know you're being facetious, but I'm still going to answer that like it was a serious question. Okay, and what's the other game tonight? The late game would be, is it L.A. or is it Vegas?
Jesus.
Oh,
it's Vegas, L.A.
Are we a couple of seconds?
Yeah, that one.
Oh, it's 3-0. Oh, no. Sorry. This is fascinating to listen to. Sorry, what's the other game tonight?
What? The late game?
Yeah.
The late game's Vegas against L.A.
Vegas, L.A. Okay. So let's look at that one then, fellas. While Pete goes to get another chicken wing. You haven't got more than 10, did you? You better not eat more than your share.
What's that?
Did you eat more than your share of wings? Did you get more than 10?
Look at that.
They're not. Oh, it is 3-0. Malkin just scored. Yep. So I put the kiss of death on Philadelphia, apparently.
So did I.
Excuse me. Okay, Vegas, LA Kings. We got. This is an interesting matchup. Obviously, the Vegas has done better than anybody expected this year, but.
Is Cinderella.
There's Ashley coming back to clean up. No, don't you dare. We're going to eat those wings.
Sure.
Yeah.
So we've all talked about the Vegas Cinderella is the ball over, and I said earlier on that it is going to come up. It's just going to unravel. And it's going to unravel quickly, and I picked Los Angeles Kings. In
I'm
6.
not quite sure that they heard
many?
all of that.
Yeah, a lot of hubbub in the background here, but how many games?
6.
6. Kings in 6.
Kings in 6.
Yep.
Well, no, I'm going to have to say that the Knights are going to execute the Kings.
Whoa.
It's going to be a coup d'etat.
Oh.
And, I think that Fleury is going to be stand on his head in this series. So I'm giving Vegas this round.
Okay. In how many games did you say?
Actually, I'll go out on a limb and say 5.
You're making this up as you go.
Check your bracket.
Yeah. Did you do your bracket on NHL.com?
It's all in here.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, you can't put it in now.
I'm
So
telling
it's
you,
good. I've been like
I got
4
lots of
different
brackets in my head.
Yeah. Parentheses. Yeah, Dale, I'm thinking the same way as you. I think the clock has struck midnight on the Knights. They got. I mean, how long can William Karlsson really keep that going? I don't know.
There's only 2 other players that have had a bigger goal differential than him from year to year.
Yeah.
Who could possibly have more?
The number 1 is Owen Nolan. Yep.
Really? Wow.
And I can't remember number 2.
See, that's a good.
I had a number 2 before.
Jesus Christ! How do we get?
I don't know where we
this
got
guy anyway. Like seriously.
Yeah.
I do. I think the Knights, though, they have got some. Like Marchessault is out, although I think again these guys are day to day. Perron's day to day. Sabisa, so that's a factor. Kings look fairly healthy. Muzzin is day to day, and Torrey Mitchell, same deal. But I like the Kings. I think Kopitar and Doughty and Quick should be a solid solid goaltender. I'm going Kings in 7.
7?
Yeah, Kings in 7.
Okay.
Okay, so shall we go to?
In a deck of cards.
Pardon me.
In a deck of cards.
Yes.
If you were playing with a deck of cards,
Yes.
there is no knight.
It's the king, isn't it? No, it'd
No.
be
Oh,
the
well,
jack. Would it be the jack? It's the bishop.
Got to throw things like this in here.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's dry.
Oh, good heavens!
Okay, but if you're playing chess, forget it.
Just don't even bother. Okay, so now next round. Let's go.
I'm
to
guessing it would be the 10 of diamonds.
top of the hill. Here is Nashville.
Yes, they're
First overall President's Trophy winners, playing Colorado. Snuck in the last game of the season. Who do you got,
I
Dale?
have no idea why I gave Colorado a game. I got Nashville in 5. Easiest. That's next to Winnipeg. That's the easiest one to pick.
Yeah, I'd say that's pretty good. But I can't say that in 5. He's been picking 4 all the time. Why? Why did you give the Avalanche
I don't know.
a game? Come
Actually,
on, you're
I really don't
destroying.
know. Because Nathan McKinnon is going to be the Hart Trophy winner, so he's going to carry them 1 game.
All right, so Pekka Rinne has a couple of beers, and doesn't play well one night. Okay, fine. But I'll give them. No way. This is 4 straight.
4 straight. Okay, I had Nashville in 5. No real big injuries for Nashville. Yarncrocs out, maybe day to day. Varlamov though is out for Colorado. Johnson's out. The Preds across the board are a better team. So yeah, I think. But again, it's a 50-50 league. Anything could happen. And it looks like I'm hoping if all goes well, I'm going to be in Denver next week, and I'll get to go to one of the either game 3 or 4 if all goes well. So, and
Look at this North American traveler here.
I know, but it was. I was checking online though for tickets.
Yeah.
There's like tons.
I was thinking of mortgaging the house and try and fight for one of the 79 tickets available for Toronto Game 3, but Teresa's wife said no.
Yeah, it's ridiculous though. And some of these are resales or whatever. But
Look at this.
it's like $120 for the bottom
Look at
bowl.
this. Flyers mucking it up.
Oh yeah, that's the way they got to go. But seriously, Colorado, first round of the playoffs, $120 for a bottom bowl. I'm like,
And the money
that'd be $500-600 bucks.
the money you throw around, piece of I wouldn't even know.
I spill more than that in a year. Come on. Okay, so we got. I got Preds in 5. Pete had Preds in 4, and you had him in 5.
4.
So not a lot of hope for Colorado Avalanche here. Let's move along. Let's go to the West Coast. We'll go to Anaheim versus San Jose.
San Jose.
San Jose.
Okay, you want me to go?
Dale.
San
you're
Jose
my
7.
guy.
This is going to be a close one, and it should be
San Jose
because they're very close
7.
geographically. But I was
Yeah,
talking.
why-
I was
why
talking
San
about.
Jose?
I was talking about.
You're good at making your pick, but you're not explaining.
I don't have to.
No, I want you to. It's a podcast. That's what we do.
San Jose. I got it.
We got an hour to kill here, Dale. Come on, Phil. The crowd in Winnipeg outside.
As far as Anaheim have got their big 3, they don't. I don't know if they have enough around them. Fowler is out. That is going to make a big difference.
Big.
And when Thornton comes back, that's going to be the difference maker in San Jose's favor.
Is he going to be back? Really?
Later
In the series.
Later.
No way. Yeah. All right.
Hey,
I believe it.
See, it's better for
And-
us to be in our little.
and
There's
San
fisticuffs.
Jose is just—they've been under the radar. They haven't. They've just been kind of coming along. They're just.
Yeah.
They got Kane is going to never been in the playoffs. He's just going to relish it and he's going to take it on. And I mean it's not I said 7, which to me means I got right down to a coin flip. So
Yeah.
I don't like relish myself, but there was a lot of mustard coming off for
try and
Kane
catch up, would you?
Yeah, I know.
Jesus.
But yeah, I'll have to give that to you as well. Lots of foul feathers in the air after that big chomp from the Sharks. Sorry, Kimmy, your team's going to go down, and I'd say 6.
6. I had because I mean I could never predict Anaheim to win anything because they're Anaheim. So Sharks in 7.
Mr. Stats guy can't look past. Gets emotional.
Can't get. Oh, yeah, absolutely. That's all on the heart.
But Kessler's going to have a big series.
No, he's not. He's garbage. He's going to
Okay.
go down like he deserves to. But no, Kane was hurt. But is he back for game 1? Did they say? I heard he had an injury. It sounded like day-to-day type stuff.
Yeah,
Hold on, this just coming in. I don't know.
Your people.
Yeah, I don't know. That didn't factor in. I didn't know.
Yeah. Okay. So like all in all, like the it's really Anaheim's more defensive. San Jose gets the goals and blah blah blah. But
So we got the West.
I think is that the West finished up?
Oh, the West was 1.
So let's do Washington, Columbus, gentlemen.
You want me to go first?
Yeah,
Washington in 4.
Why does he always get to go first?
because he's special.
Okay.
Washington in 4 because he doesn't have any real insight. He just says Washington in 4, and then that's it.
Usually that's my kind of
It's
shit.
like
Yeah.
we could do that on a website.
So Washington in 4, right?
Yep.
The old Capitol building's going.
They're
I don't know. This is going to be a closer series than one might think. It's a bit of a paper tiger in Washington this year. They're not as robust in years past, and they could never get over the hump in years past. So I think this is on the razor's edge. I'm going to go with Columbus. Columbus in 6.
okay, which isn't an unreasonable prediction, although I hate Columbus, so I am definitely going with my heart on this. And I'm not even a big Washington guy, but I think, Washington will win, and I got them in 5. I just don't.
I'm
see,
totally crazy going in 4, and you going.
I didn't
Yeah,
say
you
anything
did.
about it. He
Yeah, you
did.
did.
I did not. Did I? I did not. I just
Let's go back to
commented
the
that you
tape.
just said, okay, Caps in 4, and move on. You didn't offer any insight.
really came
into
down-
how you came to that decision.
It's either
you know?
Trotz or Torts.
Yeah, that's a good point. I like Trotz. I actually like Trotz. But, the only question mark for me is that Oshie, again, injuries. Beagle, are they going to be back? Like, starting the playoffs hurt is so brutal because
you never get a chance to heal.
Oh, they'll be it'll be tough the whole time. So I don't know. Foligno's out too. I don't know when he's coming back. There's a lot of injuries. I think injuries are key. But I think there's too much firepower in Washington.
And too much pent up.
No. Again, if the Bobster there comes through, all bets are off. So we'll see. So let's do it.
Hail Bob!
That leaves us with 2 series left, and we'll save the big one for you, Dale, till the end. So let's go Tampa Bay versus New Jersey.
Tampa, New Jersey.
Okay. You want me to go?
Just like every other round so far, yes.
All right.
We scripted this very well.
New Jersey Devils in 6. Totally. This is the really crazy pick.
Can't have another blue and white team in the playoffs.
It would just be too confusing. Taylor Hall is just going to stick it to Shirley one more time and carry the team. Tampa Bay has got it all. There's no reason why they shouldn't win. It's just they're just going to implode and everything. It's just going to line up for Jersey.
Peter, I can see that happening. I can see it happening.
You can see it then.
Then again, I'm a blind guy. So, it ain't happening this year. I'll give you 7 games, but Tampa takes it in 7. Regulation 7.
Tampa in 7. Okay, well, I got the Bolts in 6. One thing I'm wondering, though, have you guys heard on Stamkos? Because he was battling some injury going in.
He's coming back. He'll be ready to go for game 1.
Is okay, good. But I just think I consider that, and New Jersey's run has been great and good for them, but too much firepower on Tampa Bay. I think they got a lot of character in that team. They got a lot of experience. Vasilevsky's been great, and I expect him to continue that, and they've got really good D, so a lot of depth there. I just don't see it as much. It's kind of a cool story, and I cheer for Taylor Hall, and I'd be ecstatic if they won, but I just don't see it happening. So I'm going Tampa in 6.
Okay.
And now, shall we let the Leaf boy here lead us into the final? Here we've got Boston versus Toronto.
Yep.
Big series, big rivalry after 2013. When it was 4-1.
Blah, blah, blah. So Toronto's going to win in 6 games.
6 games. He's aggressive. I like
on
it.
On that topic, there's only 4 players from the Toronto Maple Leafs that were on the ice during that debacle. And that's not very long ago.
Jake Gardner?
Gardner was one.
Don't tell me. Don't tell
me.
I
don't know them all. I know a couple.
This is the rat hole guy?
Yeah, no.
Come prepared with that info? I thought you'd know for sure.
Well, I think I got them. You already talked to him. Your favorite guy.
Oh,
Bozak would have been out there.
Bozak
was there, and who's the other one? Now,
JVR?
There was different guys. I think Polar might have been on the roster, but there was only 4 on the ice that night. So that is not as big a deal as people are going to make it out to be. The Leafs have had the number 1 power play in the NHL since the trade deadline. Slightly dampened by the fact that Boston's had number 2 power play in the NHL since the trade deadline.
They don't call penalties in the playoffs anyway, so it won't matter.
Chara is still a beast. We'll see who steps up from Toronto. And Babcock wins the coaching battle over Cassidy. Did you know that Cassidy coached the Kingston Frontenacs?
No, when was that?
I don't know.
Pre-Dougie Gilmore or what?
Yeah, back whenever.
Wow.
Kingston. I did not know that.
Anyway, so that's what I believe. And the other thing, and this is a factor that I think is going to play in the first few games. Boston is tired. They've been chasing Tampa Bay. They've been playing hard for the last, let's say weeks, maybe a month. Toronto has not. They have known that they are going to be in the playoffs, and they had not. It was out of their control.
Just been cruising.
They cruised into the playoffs. Didn't Didn't have to give
But
it.
can they flip the switch?
See, that really sounds intangible to me and kind of hokey, but I kind of buy into it because I think Babcock's the kind of coach who would completely do that with his guys. He would.
Yeah.
He's
Those are my.
so good at stuff like that, managing the team, right? Managing the mood. And
So here's the criteria that I use to
that's
pick
legit.
all my teams: goalie, defense, coach, stars on the ice, NHL stats. I put that in for you. History, health, and how they finished. That's all I use.
So how you
know
finished?
that there's ice dancers called stars on ice, eh?
Yes.
Where did we get this?
I
guy?
don't know.
Like seriously, where did
There's still
your mind is a
there's
playground?
There's a few wings over there, Pete.
There's still wings left. My God. Okay, Pete, what'd you have in this series then? So you had
Which one are we talking
Leafs
about?
in 6.
Oh, we're talking about Leafs.
Jeez.
They're going to fall on the ground. We're going into fall, aren't we?
Oh, stop.
It's spring.
Stop.
Oh, sorry. We're going.
Jeez.
Oh, they're supposed to be coming onto the
Spring.
trees at this point in the year. They're supposed to be sprouting, so they're little
why they call
leaves
them
and then
buds.
growing and
Buds
growing
all day.
and growing. Right?
And I have to say that is, I hate the Leafs, but
Yeah,
I
but
think
don't-
that's a cool kind of thing. Buds all day. I like that.
Yeah, but don't bears, when they defecate in the forest, don't they use leaves to clean themselves? So,
No,
That'd
that's
be
the
interesting.
joke. So a bear and a rabbit are taking shit in the
it's a rabbit.
We know that, yeah.
But we don't. Is that going to be Seattle?
And the
team?
bear says
rabbits?
to the rabbit, "Do you have a problem with shit sticking to your fur?" And he says, "No." So he wipes his ass with the rabbit.
Okay.
That's the
I
joke.
thought that was a leaf.
No.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
We've gone
It's not
sideways
mine.
here, but we got time to kill, so it doesn't matter. So, Pete, Toronto and Boston, who do you got?
I'll try to keep it straight here. Sorry, my brain's a
It's
little
too
scrambled.
late for that,
You're,
my man.
So let's go 7 games. Well, I've got to go. I can't stand the Bruins because just
Because
can't
they're
stand
the Bruins.
Leafs.
I get
Because
it.
they're the Leafs. This is a horrible series, but
It's going to be a great series.
I will have to say that it's going to be Bruins in 7, just like it was in 2013. Just not as maybe as dramatic as 2013.
That really was as dramatic
That's
as it
that.
gets.
Yeah.
Probably so.
That's not.
Yeah, but how can you go against guys like Bergeron and Marchand and Marchand?
Oh yeah, they're
Uh,
good.
Well, he'll get
I
suspended in the
can't
first
stand
game.
what's his name, Edwards, as the
Jack
play-by-play guy. But I'll give them round 1 to beat the Leafs. Although I believe the Leafs a lot. I think they're an
Does
amazing
anyone
team.
notice in the montage they had to the Sedins, and they talked about it, and they showed Chara hoisting the Stanley Cup?
Okay.
Like that was awful.
What? Just
No,
Chara lifting
just
the
no,
cup,
but just
or-
yeah, like it's their kind of on their spot of their career. That was just,
Oh, I saw.
that was
I
just
wasn't
sticking a
following you.
dagger into them again. Like
Oh
that
yeah,
was
I got
just-
you. I didn't know
Yeah,
that. Why?
I don't know. I saw it on TV. Yeah,
That's weird. Now I didn't
Yeah.
see that. That's very strange. But for me, same thing. I had Boston in 7. Although, again, it's a coin flip when you pick 7 games. You know it's a coin flip. But with Rick Nash out, Riley Nash question mark, Carlo's done for the season. The Bruins are limping in a bit. So, and again, the Leafs have the best coach in the world. He's going to have them ready for this. It's certainly not a no-brainer, but I may have been voting a little bit with my heart there and just said, which is hard to say that I'm cheering for the Bruins, but
is it hard
I
to
just
say
can't
you're cheering
stand
for
the
the Leafs?
idea of the yes, it's very painful. Either I'm not cheering for anybody, but I picked the Bruins in 7.
All right, that
So
was
that's all the
easy.
series. Yeah, it's pretty straightforward. It's all. Now, which podcast brackets did you enter? Did you guys enter into?
No.
Because I'm in the 4th line. I'm in the Broad Street Bully, and then our buddy Leonard. Did you not get into Leonard's?
No,
Oh, come on, guys.
I saw the tweet. I've been a busy guy.
Oh, busy. Come on, this is hockey. You got to be in. Did you guys try?
No,
Is
I-
there a
no, I
deadline though?
Oh, it's gone because the season started.
So I can't
Oh,
I
yeah,
can't
you're
get in.
screwed. You're screwed.
I can't get in. I can't plead my case.
I got my
No, I don't
NHL
think so.
bracket, so if anyone wants to see what I picked, this is it. and I'm not real good with technology.
And why would you be owner of a micro agent?
Owner of a lonely heart.
Yeah, that's me.
Exactly.
Okay.
But like they should have, you would think, I would think, if I'm NHL.com, I'm pushing this bracket thing, there would be one link you could click that says my playoff bracket. But no, you have to find this obscure little link on the side, which you have to click, and then it doesn't even say my playoff bracket. It says, who do you think will win the cup? Like, there's no easy way to get there.
Your own?
Yes.
You just go into playoffs up at the top, and you go into bracket, and then it pops right up, and then you got a link to yours.
Right. Like, it should just be my playoff, right? It should be, like, right there.
Says the guy who's not up on technology.
Like, you go, like, okay, so if I click on playoffs, and I come up to Stanley Cup Playoffs, and it says, like, where do I find mine? It's not obvious. You go, who do you think will win the cup? Okay, I'll click that, and that comes up. But it's just like, it should be just, you got to find your way there. Everything on the NHL website, you have to find your way there.
This is coming from the guy who judges jerseys, sweaters.
You're damn right.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I'm an expert. I'm telling you how it should be.
Okay.
Anyway, so I'm in 4 different brackets, including, well, plus the NHL one, but I'm in
well, la-di-da.
the 4th line. I'm in the Broad Street Bully. I'm in the
I didn't even...
Leonard's Broadcast League. Thank you, Leonard, for setting that up. And Y Hockey. So I'm in all 4, and I'm going to win them all because I'm awesome. And
Are you done?
yeah. No.
You know what? I was very impressed. I was very impressed to see you tweeting out all those sticks outside. Everybody who had posted something about the stick being outside, put your stick outside, you get the hashtag there going. Big on you, man.
That
Good on
was pretty cool. I don't know. I thought that was a pretty cool tribute.
I thought the symbolism was there. The ease was there. The end of the year was around, so it wasn't like the end of the hockey season was around. So the sticks are like you're not using them; they're there.
But
I thought it really was nice too, and
it's cool though because people literally around the world could show their support. Like you're kind of in Ireland. I saw Ireland, England, Australia, Scotland, and over there you're going to go, I feel bad for these people. I can't do anything. By doing that and taking that picture and put it on social media, which is a really cool use of social media.
Absolutely.
And I think it matters to those people who are directly affected by it, and that is pretty cool. I don't know, did you guys catch the interview by Chris Joseph? So his son passed away like, I don't know about you guys, but I was crying. Like I was.
Yep. Very, very emotional, very powerful. I can only imagine, and I don't ever want to.
There's
my heart goes out to him and all the families and everyone affected by that.
Just gut wrenching.
Yeah. Yes, I saw the interview. Was powerful and well done by a guy going through what he's going through. I mean, when he did it a day, 2 days afterwards, unbelievable.
Yeah. Well spoken, but it was moving to say the least. But anyway, back to the playoffs. Pete, I know you were talking about who you thought the heroes and zeros might be. Did you have some thoughts there? What are you thinking? Who do you? What's the story you are anticipating?
Usually in a playoff series, you had like Chris Jury goes on a run. You had Mike Camilleri one year went on a run. You have these guys. All of a sudden, they go on a run, and when you consider them a hero, I would have them. They would be a playoff hero. So, I mean, looking at teams, I would, if he was on a different team than Colorado, I would say I would look at a guy like McKinnon to go on a run. But that's a star. But Chris Drury wasn't a star. He was a good player, but he wasn't a star. So, I mean, if you look in the weeds for somebody like Rust.
Or the Chris Contoses of the world. Right?
Exactly. So, you've got to go through it and pull out that one guy. And one guy I was thinking of when this came about was a guy like Carlson on Vegas, who's unknown.
Well, he's not now, though, right? Like, he had a big year.
He had a big year. But he wasn't known before that.
Well, it's because he scored like 2 goals a year.
So he came to mind, and the other guy that came to mind was Evander Kane.
Oh.
John Druce.
John Druce.
That's
the other one.
Druce wasn't Drury. Okay.
Yeah. What did Concho?
I knew it started with a
like,
D.
goal a game or something for his playoff run. But yeah,
John Drews. Do you know where he lives now? You know what he does? You know what he does now?
Why don't you tell us? He's sells real estate.
No.
Thanks.
He's from Peterborough. He's involved with the Coburg Cougars.
Is that his full-time job?
I think he's general manager there.
Coach?
I think.
Is that right? Wow. Coach and general manager.
Okay.
Oh, Don's on TV. Looking sharp, Don. Oh, he's got the Humboldt colors. Nice.
Okay, we got to keep going. People are listening.
Are they?
Probably not by now.
Okay.
Yeah, they tuned out a long time ago.
What a wingnut Pete is. Holy cow.
We bring out the best of you when we're all together, huh, Pete?
Okay.
Oh, I just got a fresh
But,
Guinness,
I mean,
so.
going through that, what did you guys think when can you come up with a guy that you can think of who might be a hero and who, on the flip side of that, who would be a zero? Who would you, going into the playoffs, like a Taylor Hall, would he get, like, no points in the series against Tampa?
No, he's not, because he's going to lead the team to victory.
He's the man, yes, just despite Peter Chiarelli, who still has the job remarkably.
Yeah, those guys all exist. And there's going to be somebody that comes out. I don't know who that was going to be this year.
Lars Eller.
Oh, as a hero. Okay.
Yeah, why not? I'm just pulling it out.
Okay, Lars Eller. Okay.
Why not?
Going to be big against Columbus?
Absolutely. He's going to, like, everyone's looking at Ovechkin. It's going to be Lars Eller.
Lars Eller. Okay.
If anybody on the Leafs is going to do it, it's going to be Nylander. He's going to be flat.
Really? Nylander?
He'll be the one he'll be the one to do better than the rest, relatively speaking.
It will be interesting on the Leafs side, though, like, because I just feel like Babcock will just clamp down on those guys, because defensively they've struggled, but at the same time there's so much firepower there.
Yeah, but the thing is that so in the Boston series, they got one line. See, the thing is, Babcock's the advantage that Babcock has, he really has to shut down one line, right? And as a coach, if you can focus on one thing to do, then you are that's easy. As opposed to, I heard a term that Winnipeg rolls 5 lines. Like you can't. You don't know which one. You don't even know which one is to stop. So.
Which is interesting, because I don't know if you read Justin Bourne's piece on The Athletic about just how you come to playoffs, you can really prep for the other team. Like during the season, you're more worried about your own systems and how you play. When you come into, you're prepping for the playoffs, you're prepping for that team, and you're looking at the video coaches are just going at 24/7 right now, trying to find out, okay, what are their tendencies, what are the trends, what do they do. And that's where you can key on one line or one group of players. And even there's all that stuff, right, where you go, okay, this guy, go at him hard because he's going to suck out and drop. He's going to take penalties. That guy, leave him alone because he'll get pissed off and be good. They pick player by player.
Well, pick a team that has a few stars, like a couple, and focus on them. I.e., not even because they're focused, but the guy gets hurt, right? Like you get a couple of key people get hurt on some teams, they have they're done. So like the bodies will be flying at the key people. Sure. It's a war of attrition too. It's a 7-game series. Yeah. You might not win this game, but you beat the snot out of that defenseman every time you get in, right?
2 months.
Throw it to that guy's corner and go hit him every time early on just to wear him down. So bringing that up, like the war of attrition, Patrick Marleau. It's been documented over the past couple of weeks that after the second period he goes and takes a cold, whatever you want to, gets in the cold bath or whatever. Really?
So he gets in there. Okay, he goes after the second period. He goes in, gets into the ice bath.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I hate that whole idea.
So every game. So do you think that for longevity, do you think that's a good thing?
What's longevity? How long do you think he wants to play?
I mean, no, but I mean, at least for the playoffs, because I mean, getting into a cold bath for 10 minutes, he's gonna First of all, it's going to stimulate the hell out of you. What the
But
hell
if he's
are
been
you
doing it, that's what he's been doing all year.
That's your shtick.
I don't know. Which is
Yeah, there's that.
And so the other thing is, and that's the other thing is,
significant shrinkage.
that people probably, it would be interesting to get the studies on it, but teams that do win in 4, right? Playing a team that goes 7, right? Man, what an advantage to be able to.
And you know what's funny, though? Because I remember back in the day when growing up and stuff, it always seemed there were a lot more 4-game series. It seemed to me, anyway, my memory. And you
because they had 1 versus 16.
You're right. But then teams
Best
that would
of
wait
5.
4 or 5 days for the next round seem to always suck coming in.
First
Like,
game.
they were
The
kind of
first
flat. So I always kind of thought, I don't know if that was an advantage, but I think now with it I think it's more of a war of attrition than it ever was.
Oh, for
and
sure.
yeah, I think it's a huge advantage. If you can get done in 4 or 5 games, it's big. Let those wounded bodies rest.
I'm just wondering if Patrick Marleau took that out of like some Soviet era
Oh, God, who knows,
thing.
right? Like,
Where do you get
and
that type of a
you know
regimen?
what? I don't know physiologically if it matters, but if in your mind you're more prepared for it, then
Jeez.
jump in there. I can't. You guys like? Do you like
Take a
swimming
cold
in
shower.
cold? What do you do that ever?
Oh yeah.
Do you?
Yep.
I hate that.
Why in God's name
I
would you
hate
take a
a
cold
cold
shower?
shower.
Don't answer that. Don't answer
Look
that.
at me.
Don't
Super
answer.
Look at
hot.
me.
I got a cousin who we would go fishing in Algonquin Park in the spring, like May, and it'd be 50 degrees. It'd be freezing cold. And he wouldn't like every now and then, if it's a hot day, they could convince me jump in, and I'm out as fast as you could. He would wade out there just slowly and just sit there in the cold water, and I'm like, oh, I can't.
It's not that.
I hate that.
It's not that for me. I've done that many times up in the lakes north, and you just run out. You like in the morning, 7 o'clock in the morning,
No,
you get out there
I hate
into
that.
the
Why do
and
you
out.
guys get so?
It's
I get
stimulating.
accused of going on rat holes. You guys are just totally on a tangent here.
We're just killing time now.
Tangent.
So we're. If you could see the look of disgust on Dale's face right now.
I miss Coach's Corner because you guys are blabbling. Okay, have we got anything else structured to talk about? Are we going to go through the next round?
I
Are
think
we going
it's
to talk
pretty.
about?
I think it's pretty
structure.
evident we have nothing.
Structure?
Nothing else structured. Do
Structure.
you want to go through the whole bracket?
No.
Like I was just.
We got time to.
We can if
we
you
got time
want,
to do
Dale.
that.
Oh no, that,
Then I can change it after the first
bracket.
round.
I mean, we got,
Sure,
we
I
got
mean,
the
I just
second
got
round. The second
a
round's
fresh
next time.
Guinness, so I mean, I got all day. Good thing you're driving.
Yep. Yeah, and for the record, I do have a beer in my hand, but that's it.
I know
Yep.
you've been very responsible. Not like me.
Okay, so what else do you want to talk? So
Pregnant pod.
when do the awards, the NHL awards, get done?
I'm glad you brought that up. They don't come out until later, but now the PHWA are being transparent. It seems like all the reporters are like mulling over their picks on Twitter and stuff, and some guy is going to be sitting there compiling what every reporter says they're doing, and we're going to know the winners of these awards well before the award ceremony.
Yeah, could happen. Yeah,
Do you think? I'm sure of it.
I'm and I don't know. I don't really care. I mean, this is whether people. I think every person that votes should be able to publish their awards. I don't.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah,
I'm all for it, but I'm surprised they're being as vocal now before the awards have been put out.
Interesting.
So who's going to win the heart? Has it changed at all?
Well, I'm thinking it's probably still McKinnon.
And when does the vote? Is the vote taking place?
They vote today.
Yeah, it has to be
think it's
before the
today.
playoffs.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah. But I think I think I was thinking McKinnon, and I'm probably should be McDavid in my mind. But if we're doing the whole playoff thing, I was thinking but Taylor Hall got a ton of seeming love from the press before, so it's going to be tight between Hall and McKinnon.
What about
I think McKinnon's gonna
Drew
win it.
finishing on such a high note?
I know, but I think
I think he goes ahead of.
it's going to be a really tight race.
Yeah.
No question. Who do you think? Who do you think?
Well, I was in the McKinnon camp because of
Yep.
the change on that team, But I mean, as far as Giroux, he finished like as good as you could have.
You can't pick it on
I
one
know
game.
you can.
I mean, how many hat tricks did McKinnon have? That's
You asked my opinion.
just because it happened on the last game.
Because you asked my opinion.
I asked your opinion, and your rationale was because you got a hat trick on the last game. Well, it doesn't
There's a
matter.
million things that factor in. One of the
He's
things
opining.
that factors in is the last thing you hear. It doesn't matter whatever you are. The last thing you hear is
Recency bias.
that's a technical term, I guess, for it. Yeah. So, but Drew was in it for the whole time. He didn't just start being talked about in the last game.
I know, but he didn't have the points per game that
It's
McKinnon
not
had.
about
Well,
points per game. It's
it's
who's
all-
the most
It's a
valuable.
factor. It's a
It's a
factor.
factor. Correct.
Well, McKinnon's been up there.
Because if
right?
you're going to turn
Correct.
in the most valuable to his team, points per game is a significant measure.
I don't think it's in Giroux's camp. I don't think it's in Kucherov's camp. I think those guys knock it out. I think they knock each other out. I think it's either Hall or because of that late surge for him, and I think it's McKinnon. And I actually think it's McKinnon's to lose.
I was really hoping Hall would get it so that we could just hold that over
Somebody
Peter
had
Chiarelli's head, and hopefully it'd be incentive for the Bob
He's
Nicholson to
not
say,
listening
you
to us
are
anyways.
gone.
He doesn't give a crap what we think. Chiarelli's
Hey,
going to put together one hell
we're
of a
in
team next year.
we're
You're
gonna be in the hockey
dancing
news
and
top
happy.
50.
Oh, McNuggets is going to be the world beater next
Stop
year.
it.
He's got the heart, and then Rocket Richard and everything else is all going to be
That's an
next year.
interesting point, though. Can McDavid get the Rocket Richard? He wasn't that far off this year.
for scoring the most goals.
Yes,
Why
and
couldn't he
if they could get a power play together, I think he'd be right there.
Sure he is.
Yeah.
He's one of the greatest hockey players.
I know. I'm just saying, like, it's exciting to me to think that he could have not only the Art Ross, but the Rocket Richard.
You just got to get faster players,
Okay.
or they got to play
Okay.
fast.
So, here's
Oh,
here's.
God.
I touched on this earlier because I'm trying to change. Yeah, I touched on this earlier. The guys from TSN panel that picked their teams, right, in their pool.
Yep.
I was astounded. I was watching this last night as I was preparing for this. I could not believe how 5 Winnipeg Jets were picked in the first 6 players. Of all players eligible to be picked, they picked Winnipeg. Then they picked 3 Boston in the top 10, 1 Nashville.
You know what that means, right?
Well, it does mean something. But here,
All the experts think the Leafs are going to lose in the first round.
But why didn't they pick Boston? I mean, they picked 1. Okay, so the next thing is, and this is another. I was going to talk about this more in the second round, right?
Okay.
So the second round, it's Winnipeg. If we think that's a no-brainer, which I do. Nashville, that's a no-brainer. Well, they play in the second round, right? If they both win the first round, they're going to play in the second round. One team moves on, and so what that's telling me, because I look a little deeper. They're telling me that all those TSN guys, who I would say are fairly hockey knowledgeable, are picking Winnipeg, so they're picking them over Nashville.
Wow.
And I don't think that, and it's not just not just one,
Good point.
not
That's a
just
really good
one
point.
of 4. All 4 of those guys were picking Winnipeg.
Wow.
Well, it's going to come down if by chance Winnipeg plays Nashville. In
High
the conference
probability.
final, then you're going what, defense versus offense, right?
Sure, Nashville's
Essentially.
No, it's not conference final, though, is it?
no
It would be the second round. That's the
Look
thing.
at the brackets,
That's the point.
fellas. Look at your bracket.
Yeah.
I never look at brackets.
I know. I was being a little facetious.
That's where he was going with that. Don't play in the second. That's a good point. That's a really
So,
good
in essence,
How can you fight sarcasm with
so
sarcasm?
okay, so I guess you
We're
saw through it
colliding.
pretty quick. 4 TSN hockey analysts that spend their whole life studying hockey, insiders, played the game, all that.
They don't study it that hard.
They all picking Winnipeg over Nashville.
Wow.
I can see it. I can
That,
see it.
no, it's surprising that many did, though.
Unanimous.
I'm with you 100%. Yeah, that's a wow. We're a little slow on the uptake.
It's all right.
So let's
That's why I look at the
instead of going
pictures.
through every round, who'd you have to win the Stanley Cup?
You really want to know?
I do, and that's why
Philadelphia Flyers.
You
I do.
Not. You did not
Long
pick
shot.
Philip.
Long shot. Nobody wins
Oh.
going with the obvious
We
ones.
gotta get. Oh my God, we're gonna have to have the guys
Philadelphia
from the Broad
Flyers.
Street Billy
Look at
podcast.
that right
Down
there.
3-0 after the
You
first
did
period.
too.
I had Nashville. I was
Were you drunk when you did this?
oh,
thing?
that's probably a good question. define.
Is Peter Mrazek going to be in that?
Define drunk, but anyway, Nashville, Philadelphia. I had Philadelphia beating Toronto. Philadelphia.
So
what is wrong with you?
It's not. I just kind of saw how things were coming together. I had an epiphany, and I was going to pick Nashville, and I thought that I would go out on a limb because guess what? If I pick Nashville, everyone's going to say, well, that's a pretty standard pick. Like, that's pretty safe. Yeah. This is not a safe pick, and I'm willing to go out and say it. And, yeah, the Broad Street Bullies, if you want to reach out to me.
Right now, Brian Elliott's in nets for Philly. If they put Peter Mrazek in, I can see that might happen.
Look at that.
Mazarek?
Oh, no.
Mazarek, whatever his name is.
It is Mrazek, though, but you always said it Mazarek a bunch of times. I'm poking fun at you, Pete.
Yeah. Who, me?
I reserve the right. Okay, Pete, who'd you have to win the cup?
Where?
Who'd you have to win the cup?
Oh.
Who's going through?
Who's going to win the cup?
You didn't do your homework. You didn't do your brackets. Shame on you. You're getting detention. Unacceptable.
Just to be consistent.
I'm calling your mother.
You should pick a team that you picked to win the first round.
She's on a cruise ship right now. Let's see. Who's going to win the Stanley Cup? And I better pick somebody that I've already picked
to win the first round.
In the brackets. Let's see. Who did I say was going to win?
Yeah, I wasn't recording it because I assumed you did. I should have known better.
Well, I'm going to have to say, I'm going to go with Pittsburgh for a three-peat.
You're going to go Pittsburgh?
Really?
Yep.
No.
That's nuts.
Especially
they're down 3-0 in
this.
So,
yeah.
Down 3-0? They're up 3-0.
Oh, sorry, up 3-0.
I'm in a little bit of trouble right now.
Yeah. Okay, I'm on my fourth beer, all right? Give me a break.
Yeah. I'm not looking like the genius I think I am.
Well,
I like the opportunity of Winnipeg playing Boston in the final. Not that I want Boston in the final, but I think that's a compelling final.
I definitely want Winnipeg in the final, no doubt about it.
All right, then who do you got?
Jets.
Who do you got?
I have the Jets in the final.
Yes.
That's for you, Beller. And I have Tampa Bay, and I have Tampa Bay winning because I picked them at the beginning of the season. So I said I got to stick with them because, 2 years ago I picked Pittsburgh, but no one else did, and they won it from the beginning of the season. So I trust my abilities.
Good for you. We're proud of you.
I think at the beginning of the year I had chosen Washington, but
did you?
I think
I could pull that up. I have the technology. I have the ability.
You can rebuild them?
I can.
All right.
Oh, wow. That's good.
All right.
What's going on in the game? Come on, Dale. Keep talking.
So Minnesota, Winnipeg are still at zeros in the second period. And Pittsburgh is beating Philadelphia 3-0 in the second period, and it's not looking good for me.
So how are you guys feeling about the I'm curious about the Vegas thing, right? Because, everybody loves Vegas, blah, blah, blah.
Don't say blah, blah,
No,
blah.
I've had enough of them. Honestly, I want them to lose. I'm like, okay, it's a great story, whatever, but I want them to lose.
Why?
Are you guys, all on the and it's fine if you are, but is it yeah, Vegas, that's a great story, keep it going? Or, I'm just kind of they don't deserve this. That's how I feel.
Wow. Mike says they don't.
Because of all the points they got in the regular season.
They just started. They're not even a team there. They don't deserve a Stanley Cup
20...
this early.
Well, look at St. Louis.
Damn it.
Look at St. Louis. Back in the 60s.
Yeah.
They were
Yeah, but that's because they split the league in
Look
half.
at this.
And so one of the
Look at
expansion
this.
teams had to. Wow, 4-0 Pittsburgh. Are you kidding me?
I missed that goal. You got me talking about St. Louis.
So,
yeah.
So the problem is whether Vegas does well or whatever. Obviously they don't. The city, the franchise is going to be screwed because no matter what happens, they're just going to be disappointed for years to come. They cannot keep this up.
Yeah, you're right. They should just quit now.
Yes.
Just fold the franchise, leave on a high note. It's done. I'm with you.
Yeah, this is really great, this Pittsburgh.
I think it would be a great story if they didn't finish in the first round. So that's why I got them going on to the second round. but
No,
I don't see them going on to win the cup. I don't.
No. I'm asking from in your heart. When you're watching one game, forget about what your brain's telling you. You're just watching a game. Are you cheering for Vegas or no?
Okay, down deep in my
Yes,
soul.
exactly.
Down deep in my soul. Brother, I don't believe that they're going to win.
No.
And
I'm not asking who you think is going to win. I'm asking you, who do you want to win? When you're watching a game with Vegas, are you going, go Vegas, or are you thinking, no, I don't want you to win? Because I don't want them to
I don't have that. I don't have.
Come on, you watch a game. You're watching this game. You're telling me you can't go. You're just kind of going,
yeah, whatever.
without thinking about it.
Yeah, because between Vegas and LA, don't care who wins. Really, don't care.
But don't you have a favorite?
Nope.
God
So the
damn it,
part
you're
about
tough.
Vegas that would be good to see, right? You cheer for teams, but you cheer for players. You do root for guys in Vegas because they were all discarded, right? There's a band.
That's a
There's a
great
band.
I like that
There's
angle.
a
Actually, that's a
band
great
of
angle.
guys that all have one common
Yeah,
thing,
fair enough.
and that's banding them together. And Gallant too, right? Gallant got
Yes.
turfed. He got tossed in the worst possible.
Literally tossed.
He got tossed to the
Literally.
curb. So here they've got
Absolutely.
this whole rally, and they're
I get that.
they're playing on house money, right? They got nothing to lose, nothing,
I get it. Yeah.
Yep.
No, that's
and always fear
legit.
somebody that got nothing to lose.
That must
But
be
I
a
know-
great barn to watch a hockey game in. Right?
Oh yeah.
Just,
Well, that's what Kirk told us there on the weekend. But I think I get all that, but I just know when I'm sit down to watch it, I don't want them to win. I feel like they haven't earned it. I love Fleury. I love lots of their players. I don't even know why I feel that way, but I
See,
do.
after talking to you guys, now I want them to win.
Well, there you go.
See?
Good for you. Now at least there's some passion
You've
there.
given me
Look
something.
at this. Here he
But
goes.
you,
Here he's going.
by
in.
the way, beginning of the
Look at
season,
that.
you picked Washington.
It's
to win
not
the
even
Stanley
4
Cup.
anymore.
See?
Look at this.
See?
It's 5.
Mrazek said.
Did you hear me?
5.
I did.
nothing.
You picked Washington to win at the beginning
I
of the
did,
season.
didn't I?
Yeah, and do you know who they were playing in the final?
Okay, so you know what's happening?
In
they
your
probably
world?
were playing Nashville.
Edmonton.
You know what's starting right now?
In your world.
What's starting right now is the greatest goalie run that's ever happened in the NHL playoff with Mrazek.
You think?
He's not going to let a goal in.
Okay, hear that, Scuttlepuckers. Dale called it.
This is
From here on
this
in,
is Steve.
Peter
this
Mrazek
The
is going to have
TSN turning
this
point.
is
Steve Penny?
right here.
Steve Penny.
Oh,
Nice.
nice.
Good call. He didn't go much past the first round, though, right? Did he get 2 rounds in? I don't remember. But that was
win a cup.
all. No, he did not win a cup. Emphatically, no.
Shine that lucky penny.
Yeah, it fell from heaven.
All right, I think we've kind of we've lost our mojo here.
We've stretched it out
anything
a
else
bit
we
too
want to
far.
talk? Yeah.
So we got some exciting stuff coming up that we'll have to get that ready. So
we think we could have a seriously big
Yeah,
name on
don't
the
say
podcast next Sunday. We're just gonna tease that out there. We won't throw actual names out there, but this could be a really big deal for
Yes.
Scuttlepuck. So we'll throw that out there, and
so we are going to have something for next Sunday, and we'll have
Yep.
so much to talk about because the playoffs will be well
oh
underway.
yeah,
Okay, I'll
gonna
be
be
in the
awesome.
Belle Provence.
you'll be in the Belle Provence. Provence.
Not Dimanche.
Too bad Montreal's not in the
Not Dimanche.
playoffs.
I know it would have been a good. It would have been a lot of fun. Actually,
can't help
Laval's
myself.
not even.
I'm such
I'm
a
in
pussy.
Laval, and it's not even going to be. They're not even in the playoffs in the AHL. So
Yeah, they suck. Montreal sucks. The whole organization sucks. The whole fucking tire fire. Anyways,
No, I know. You just need your players to work harder.
that's right.
no, they have to have a better attitude.
Right. Yeah. It's about working hard
You got
because
to
they
get
suck.
the compete level up.
Compete level, exactly. That's well said.
Better attitude.
All right. But I think that probably gives it a wrap. But anybody wants to give us their predictions, by all means, you can email scuttlepuck@gmail.com. But the best way is to on the Twitters. I'm at 13Mike31.
I'm at Dale Horde, so all you Flyer fans out there.
And I'm at Pete's VO.
Good stuff, and we'll put links in the show notes and everything on scuttlepuck.com. And with that, I guess we'll leave it till Sunday, and we'll talk to you then.
Take care.
Bye for now.